What is up? Welcome in. It is finally week 1 on the CHGO Bears Podcast presented by PointsBet. Use that code CHGO to get 2 risk-free bets up to $2,000. Look at this crew. Welcome in.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah.
We are here.
Carmen.
We did it. We have new faces.
Brags. Sorry.
We have old faces. We are very excited to unveil our 53-man roster. It feels like all of a sudden we have a 53-man roster. It's great. But you guys made it. Congratulations.
Am I an old face or a new face? Because I'm already confused.
You're
you the old face?
You're an old face to me.
I'm definitely an old face to you, pal.
To some of our viewers, I hope you're not an old face because you've already done on a couple of our shows.
That's true.
We had some good post-game time.
Show 3. Let's
I
go.
don't know, you're in the middle. Braggs was here a couple weeks ago, too.
That's right.
And then Carmen Vitali's here.
I'm the new one.
Yeah.
I'm the bona fide new one. But yeah, I'm really excited to be here. And
The first thing we have to figure out is who is Carm and who is Carmi.
Yeah.
I'm Carmi. Well, so I go by Carm to my friends, which we established, but you're Carm, and then I can be Carmi.
No, well, so this is it's emotional for me, but I can give up Carm for the benefit of the show. I'm happy to do that, and we could go old school. I mean, high school, I was Carmen.
Okay.
So there's that. But you're kind of settling into Carmi, so I might, not be the nice guy and just kind of try to wrestle Carm back.
There's a lot of Carmies in Chicago now with the new, I don't know if you watched The Bear.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so
Great
I was
show.
like, I had so many people text me and they were like, do you know there's a new show about a Italian beef place in Chicago and the main character's name is Carmi? And I'm like, what?
That's kind of big.
I know. So like, I just feel like this name is taking over the city.
It's a lot of good karma.
Oh!
Dad
That's why
joke.
Braggs is here.
Walk off.
All right, don't walk off yet. We still have 56 minutes to
All
go.
right.
Can I do one more Carmen story before we move along?
Yes.
Because I think it's Bears. At WGN Radio, I got a call from one of the producers one day. It's like they're like, "Congratulations on your new show," and I'm like, "What new show are you talking about?" He's like, "I saw you on a billboard, Carmen and Yurko." I'm like, "Oh no, that's not me,"
Different
and I
Carm.
want it to be me, but but it's not. So, but thank you. So, at any rate, Carmen, we're here. Let's go.
A lot of
All right,
Carms
back
in
to
this
you.
city. All right, well, here's a good way to start. Don't worry, by the way. Nick's still here. He's actually right over there. We don't have enough chairs.
drinking
is really
Malort.
the problem.
He wants
So
some.
he don't worry. Nick's gonna be in here in a little bit. We're gonna have him in here to talk Bears as we always do.
And he's in the chat. Which,
Yep. Nick's he's also in the chat from 10 feet away. Will DeWitt still part of the crew. We're just building to it. It is time for the regular season. And Corey Wooten, former Bear,
Woot.
former Cat, most importantly.
I was going to say, former cat.
We have a big Northwestern flavor here, don't we?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I
Braggs,
did
how do you feel about that?
I feel happy for you. I was gonna say sorry, but we're gonna start this off on the right foot.
Okay.
1-0, buddy.
Yeah, you beat Nebraska. That was a great game, and you had it seemed like you had a great time out there.
I got to go to Dublin. It was amazing, and
I'm Irish, so I want to go out there one day. The homeland.
Hats off to the Irish. Number one, they did a great job with the grass out there. I know we're going to touch on New Soldier Field grass, and number two, these people really respect happy hour out there. I mean, oh my God, that was fun to be on from Dublin.
Yeah, you were in the middle of happy hour when you jumped on the show.
Yeah, they were.
Do you remember it?
I vaguely, yes, I believe I was double fisting.
Didn't they get free beers because the Wi-Fi went out?
That's true,
They
too.
were like, here, just have free beer.
Yeah, I mean, now why can't we bring that over to the States /
That
Soldier
sounds
Field?
great.
If the Wi-Fi goes down, hand them out. Let's go.
No chance that would ever happen to Soldier Field. Good chance the Wi-Fi would go out. No chance they would just make everything free. $9 water bottles. Come on.
They'd follow you home.
Yeah. All right. We're going to get into plenty of Bears talk, but since we're all here together, I think we have to introduce everyone one by one, get to know you guys a little bit. Let's start with you, Mark Carman, the first person who I interned under. And by intern means did all his work while he took naps at his cubicle.
Yes. I hired Adam brilliantly in 2008, WGN Radio. And, yes, I did. He basically befriended Judd Surratt, who I didn't befriend, and
Voice of the
Bruins,
Boston
super
Bruins.
talented. Go Judd, and everything else that you did over there. And then we did radio together at the game back in the day, and also WGN, as we both grew up in the business, and now here, which is kind of amazing. Bears bio, first game, week 1, 1985. Bears 38, Bucks 28. Me and Papa Fred in the family section. No beers allowed. My dad made the corned beef, the sandwiches. We went down to Old Soldier Field. One of my favorite memories back in the day. Also, longtime vendor at Soldiers. A lot of vendor history around the media. Shout out Barry Rosner, Mike North off the top.
Oh, yeah.
David Kaplan off the top of my head. Used to work the upper deck corner. Got threatened by Bears fans if they didn't get their Miller Lite in the next 5 minutes that I would get thrown off of
the new Soldier upper
Field,
deck, which
Yes.
is pretty high up there.
Terrifying, straight terrifying. Freezing cold days, walking from the Roosevelt Red Line. 7 a.m. freezing cold, but grinding for you Bears fans to get you your beer that you needed to get through many a Bears season. So
And it definitely wasn't free.
Yeah, and by the way, shout out to I've been doing Bears postgame on GN for the last 7 years, which I have to give up to be here, which is obviously amazing to be here. But to just shout out to my guys Hamp and OB sending a great good luck on the first show today. Tex. Love you,
that's
love
why
you,
Ed
Ed Obradovich.
Ed Obradovich is the best.
Yeah, well, hopefully we'll get those guys in here at some point to join the show one day too. So, at any rate, that's me.
OB, very scary and angry with a microphone in his face. Very friendly and chill.
The sweetest guy ever. Well, Adam was, you were the reporter on that show for many years, and OB would be at the start was like, "Who's this guy, Adam Hoge?" And then he'd come on there and then 5 seconds later they were best friends. Adam, I love you. Adam, tell me what's going on. Adam, I hate this team. I hate this coach.
Basically, every 20-minute hit, it would 15 to 19 of those minutes were just him yelling at me, like I was the one who made all the mistakes in the game, and then the last minute would just be him praising me for.
You're absolutely right, Adam.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right.
That's how it always went. And I miss those.
OB is a treasure, and Bears 87 should be retired out there. There's that man. How many guys of that ilk who also won a world championship, 1963. Let's go. So, come on, retired. At any rate,
Different Carmen.
Different Carmen.
Probably better Carmen.
No question.
Well, I mean, I do kind of have a claim over it because, Carmen's my first name. I can't really do anything.
You might just be Mark
else.
here.
Marcus.
No, it's
Mark,
fine.
No one's ever called me Mark, but that'd be great.
No, I don't think I've ever called you Mark.
I know. I get it. No, like I said, I can be Carmi. Carmi was the original because my dad called me Carmi growing up.
Aww.
So
you are at Carmi V.
And I am at Carmi V. So a lot of people will say.
You are at the Carm. More people call you at the Carm than they do Mark.
This is true.
Yeah.
This is true.
Yeah. So it's fine. It's cool. It's really cool. I spent the last 6 years away. I was working for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and former NFC Central, obviously, division. And so I grew up. I remember getting there, and my entire view of the Bucs was just them as rivals because they weren't really that great in that division. And so it was one of those things where I had that view of it, and then I got to know the organization really well. But I'm from Chicago originally. I grew up outside the city in Elmhurst, and my first Bears game, though, didn't come till college because we didn't have season tickets because you couldn't get season tickets. Still can't probably get season tickets. I don't know how long that waiting list is.
It's a wait.
Yeah, okay. So I didn't get to go to my first game until college when they were playing the Arizona Cardinals, who I was interning for in college, actually.
Wow.
But, I grew up just a diehard, absolutely unhinged Bears fan, as I think a lot of us did. My favorite player is Lance Briggs. So I have yet to meet him, and I might fangirl over him if I ever do. So don't let that ever happen, probably. I have his jerseys and everything like that. But I grew up during that black and blue kind of the middle linebackers just wreaking havoc. So I became a very defensive girl. I've carried that with me throughout my entire sports career because I didn't really have any offenses to speak of growing up. But yeah,
They're working.
They're working. And no, it's changing, and I love that. But I have a very good defensive view of the game itself, and so I really like that. But yeah, I'm really excited to be here. I'm really excited that I get to come out of hibernation and be a Bears fan again. Although I am working for Fox Sports now. I'm covering the NFC North, so I can't be too unhinged. But I am going to get to go to a lot more Bears games now. I'm going to probably end up a lot in enemy territory in the Packers.
Get us intel.
That's awesome.
At Lambeau Field. So I will probably end up being there a lot. But I'm really excited I'm starting with you guys today, and I'm also starting with Fox Sports
Big
today.
day for you.
Wow.
Congrats on the Fox Sports thing, too. So she's going to be all over the NFC North. It's going to be a great resource for us here on the show when you do join us once or twice a week. We got some more details that will be leaking out from CHGO over the next week or so about some cool different shows we have planned to do for you. And Greg Braggs is going to be part of that, too. Greg Braggs Jr., very well known to the Chicago Bears fan community.
Only for silly reasons on Twitter. That's right. I'm excited to be a part of this. It's a lot of fun being able to rub shoulders with some of you guys in the professional media field. Now you let one of the clowns from the circus in, so that I call Bears Twitter. It's a crazy world. Exactly, the mean streets of Bears
man,
Twitter.
people are gonna be so mad about that noise. There was one time where I was listening back to the pod and totally understood why people hate that, because it scared the absolute shit out of me when I was driving on the Kennedy. I was like, what? I was like, is there an ice cream truck behind me or something? It was. So I get it. Anyway, keep going.
No, like I said, I'm just excited for this opportunity. I'm a bricklayer, by day and sports goof by night. And, this is a great fit. The people here all the way across the board with the Bulls, Bears, Cubs, Blackhawks. The coverage just has a real fan feel to it. And that's what I want to try to bring. I've always said I'm just a fan in the stands. And my buddy Cap, he would always say, quit saying that. You're in the media now. I'm like, no, I'm a fan. I don't want to try to be somebody I'm not. I'm just the guy in the stands that you can come up to, have a beer with, or a whiskey and Coke, or at the tailgate, or wherever I'm at, and have a good time. And I'll continue to be that and try to provide a little passion and energy here and have fun with it. Hopefully we have a great season to get behind. But it's just nice because it's the start of maybe something special with this Bears team. We say that a lot, but Justin Fields is certainly different than a lot of players we've had here in Chicago. So I'm a believer. A lot of great things happening with the Bears right now. Change in front office, a new stadium on the horizon, a quarterback that can do some things that we've never seen before. So it's a great time for CHGO Bears to start their coverage. This is going to be a fun season.
Just so you know, Cap would also argue against himself that he's just a fan too. It said he'd float back and forth. So
you got to play both sides. I've learned the tricks to the trade.
He would yell at you for being a fan, but then also say he's a fan. So it's a tricky thing.
When you're trying to sound like an expert, you're media, and then if you get something wrong, it's hey, I'm just a fan, right?
See? Yeah, that sounds like
it's called hedging.
Right?
It's called hedging.
Everybody who got into this. Fan.
That's why we're all here.
Come on. This is not rocket science. You wanted to work in this or be around it. It's because you love it.
Michael Nash says, Braggs is going full McCaskey. I'm just a fan, not a football evaluator.
Yep.
Who knows more, Braggs or George? What do you want?
When it comes to football?
Yeah.
I'll be nice to George today.
I love George, but
Carmen.
Yeah.
Yep.
I've had a lot of really
I thought
good
about
t-shirts.
just ordering a meatball costume and showing up in that today.
Awesome. All right. Well, Braggs is going to be. He's going to be at games. He's going to be sometimes here in studio with us. It's going to change by week, but he is going to be our. What did I call you a couple weeks ago? Like the president of Bears fans or something?
You better stop calling me that.
No, I like it. I like it. You're the guy. So we're really excited about the team we've built here, and then we're also going to have the former player perspective too with Corey Wooten, who we're going to hear from in just a few minutes. But we better dive into some Bears talk.
Let's go
as well. Oh, and Nick is, by the way, fully part of the show still. He is our guy out at Hallis Hall, basically our reporter in the building, at the games, all the time. We're going to be checking in with him to get the latest from Hallis Hall, and that includes here in a few minutes because he was out there yesterday on Labor Day working away along with the Bears on their sort of like half practice that they had.
Big.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Lawrence had to work because of that, too.
Big day yesterday. Back on the practice field, dude's getting healthy. Let's go, Nick, out there.
Which I kind of thought. Let's start with just your overall outlook, okay? So it's like it's Tuesday, but yesterday was Labor Day, so it's like the first day of the work week. Everybody's putting out their power rankings today. There's more power rankings than you'll ever get today. On the Tuesday following Labor Day, you'll never get more power rankings in your life, and the Bears are like somewhere between 29th and 32 on like basically all of them. What's your general outlook for the Bears as we head into this season?
The only thing I'm going to care about all season long is the play of the quarterback. I'm going to do my best because I really, really, really love to see the Bears beat the 49ers on Sunday, start out 1-0, and let's dream about beating the Packers. But I'm going to do my best to just focus on how much growth we're seeing offensively. I think there's a lot of good things happening right now, from everything you hear of what's going on in that quarterback room to what we're seeing on the field. Granted, the Browns were missing their entire starting secondary and guys up front as well, but that was just so nice to see. So my focus this year is on one, and however many wins they get, that to me, that's just gravy. So I hope that's a fair answer for you, Adam Hoge.
Take it.
I just think, well, I mean, but then by proxy, you're going to need to have some decent play out of your offensive line, and that's the biggest question mark for the Bears, I think, and how well Justin Fields does directly hinges on that. So I'm a little bit nervous about it, to be honest, because we don't have, we still have a lot of question marks going into week one, and I think we're going to see how that all solidifies. I don't think because they don't have, like, big stars on the offensive line, I think it matters more how they can play together, and that's going to, obviously, we're going to see if Lucas Patrick slots in and he really is the starting center, or, I mean, he's missed so much time, and Justin Fields has spent all of camp bonding with Sam Mustipher again, and so I don't know how that's going to work out, but I'm just more concerned with being able to protect Fields and allow him to do things and allow this run game to do things so it helps Fields as well.
Can I have my first quibble with Carmi?
Oh my God.
Quibble with Carmen.
Oh my God. The Carms are fighting already?
I'm dialing. I just went to quibble. I thought about fighting, but we're just a minor little quibble, and this is for everybody here. More concerned about the offensive line or the defensive line? Because I don't know.
You're wrong. You're upset with the defensive line?
Yeah,
I like what's happening with the Bear O-line right now. I feel like we got some depth. We got some guys emerging. I just who's getting to the quarterback? That's
the guy who had 18.5 sacks last year.
That's one.
That's that guy.
That's one.
Also, like Al-Qadim Muhammad has been in this system now, and he's coming on strong. He's got that rotation with Travis Gibson. Like
quibble with Carmi.
I'm not really necessarily worried, especially about the edge guys. I mean, the interior guys, I could see that there's a little bit of concern. I don't know, how well they're going to be able to eat up blockers, but like you've got guys that have been able to beat that before, especially in Robert Quinn. So there's so much that hinges on the offensive line, and you guys will learn this about me. I'm like an offensive line. I think I'm an offensive lineman, honestly, at heart. So
all right.
I am like, I will go to bat for these guys every day of the week and twice on Sundays.
Bragg's general outlook.
Long snapper at heart.
Yeah, as you guys mentioned, the offensive line is certainly the question, the $1 million question, because I think we saw in week 3 of the preseason, if you give Justin Fields time to throw, he can make plays. And he makes plays outside of the pocket. He's dynamic. So we just got to figure out how to get him time to throw and be comfortable and be able to trust that pocket when he's in there to step up and throw a strike. There's things to be excited about. It's just early. Braxton Jones, it seems like they might have a diamond in the rough, but he's going up against Joey Bosa week 1.
That's a problem.
It's a problem, but it's a good learning experience for him, and let's see how he holds up. And, this whole Tevin Jenkins saga is going up and down and up and down. Who knows if he's going to start this week, depending on what they decide with the configuration with Lucas Patrick returning. But at the end of the day, I just have a feeling you're going to see a team that fights, because last year they had let go of the rope on Matt Nagy. I mean, to me, it had happened. It started to happen at camp, and then by the time the Browns game came along and Justin Fields almost gets killed, I felt like the team had pretty much given up and washed their hands of Matt Nagy, and that's not the kind of team you want to root for. This team, they're all bought in. It's the first year of a coaching staff. Typically, you see a big buy-in to that because everybody's trying to prove it to one another, whether it be the coaches to the players or the players to the coaches. So, I I just feel like it's such an unpredictable season, and that's a good thing for the Bears because most of the time when you can predict how they're going to do, it's not well. So if they're unpredictable, I think that's a good thing. They're going to be the worst team in football stuff. I don't buy that for a second. This team found a way to win 6 games with all the garbage going on last season. So I certainly think they're going to be better than the worst. That's not exactly the bar I want to set here. I want to be as good as they possibly can. But what that means, as I said on the last preseason show, 7 wins or more, and I'll be happy. Anything less than 7, and I'll be somewhat disappointed. But as Mark Carman, pointed out, everything matters. All that matters is how Justin Fields looks this season.
Well, we need to bring in the next new addition to the show here. But first, I want to mention.
Are you snaking out on where you're putting this team?
What?
I want to know where Adam Hoge is at.
The same place I've had it every show we've done since April.
I want to hear it again right now today. This is game week.
We literally did this Friday at 9. I got him at 9 and 8.
Okay.
Yeah, tennis guy. You enjoy your tennis last week.
I knew you were going to taunt me at some point, so I brought you a gift. I brought you a U.S. Open. It says it right there, 2022. You can't quite see it, but there you go, buddy. Live from the U.S. Open. I knew it's
awesome.
Thank you.
You can't even get it signed by Serena though.
I
hanging out with Nick Wright in your courtside seats.
We weren't courtside for that one. I love you, Nikki, but I could have gotten you a Siniakova autograph. But here, we'll just put that there right there as a nice little added prop. But there you go, buddy. My dream, Lawrence, is to be a ball boy at the U.S. Open.
This is true, actually.
I've been putting that out there for years.
I've heard this.
I literally interviewed one of the ball boys this year. How did you get that gig? And I've got his contact information. So 2023.
Does that guy need to be nervous?
No, well, I'm going to be calling. That's all. He doesn't really need to be nervous. Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Real quick, I want to tell you, with all this excitement we got going on here at CHGO, we also have an amazing PointsBet deal specifically for Bears fans. I know we had one of these a couple weeks ago. It was for the White Sox, and everyone who watches this show is like, whoa, what about Bears? Okay, well, here it is. Look at those beautiful sweatshirts on your screen if you're watching on YouTube.
Woof.
So starting today through the end of Sunday's game, if you use promo code CHGO, new users only, but you bet $51 or more either before the game or live on this game versus San Francisco, users will receive this Midway Varsity hoodie or the sweatshirt, the QB1 shirt, a CHGO membership, and 2 risk-free bets up to $2,000 on PointsBet. It's the best deal. If you haven't signed up yet with PointsBet, now is your time because you can pick between those 2 sweatshirts on your screen right now. You got that hoodie, or you go with the crew. I like them both. I'm going to have to get both. Sorry. And then the QB1 shirt, which we released last week, all along with the CHGO membership, which includes all of our coverage that you get every.
Best deal I've ever seen. Look at that. Come on.
There it is.
I mean, come on.
I've been waiting for the hoodies and the sweatshirts.
I know, right? It's hoodie season.
It's getting the hoodie season.
Hoodie season. All right, let's bring in our guy, Corey Wooten. Welcome to the team, buddy. It's good to see you again.
What's going on, guys? How are you guys? How's everybody doing?
Of course, Corey Wooten played at Northwestern, played for the Bears, had a great NFL career. He's been doing great work in the media ever since. Awesome having him join us, and he's going to be a big part of our Monday shows, which we're going to put a lot of time and energy into, those Bears Monday shows after the day after the game, and Corey's going to be here as part of those. So welcome in, buddy. It's good to see you.
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys. There's a lot of Northwestern energy in here. No offense, Greg. Sorry.
Go Cats. Go Cats.
Go Cats, baby. Go Cats.
1-0. Just keep on getting that out
there. Hey, Carmen and Carmi, but Carmen first. Did you go golfing out there? You're in Ireland, the mecca of golf courses. Did you play the link style courses, or did you not? Because if you didn't, don't talk to me anymore, man.
Woot, you're good. I'm going to come up a little bit short, but I can tell you that I took a beautiful hike through the town of Houth, which is glorious. And a part of that hike, I could see the course, and I stepped on the tee at 14 and took in the beauty. So I didn't actually hit any golf balls, but I experienced the glory of the course, a little bit at least. So that's something.
You're going through the shots. Yeah, you're going through the shots. Okay, I'm gonna hit a nice stinger here. Keep it low on the link style. Let it run out. Then I'm gonna have my approach shot, knock down pitching wedge. Exactly. Had the whole thing going, right?
Exactly. Yeah. I had the whole thing played in my mind. So it's a beautiful place. I highly recommend it for anybody who has some desires to travel overseas.
My jealousy was just raging throughout that entire experience out there. I almost couldn't even watch the game because it was so painful. But anyway, let's jump into some Bears talk, Corey. Want to get your thoughts on a couple things as we jump into game week here. I mean, we are into it. We got to start previewing the 49ers. But let's talk about the offensive line real quick because there's a sort of a fascinating situation that could play out this week. Lucas Patrick seems to be on the verge of returning from his hand/thumb injury. But when you're a center, you have to be able to snap the ball, and that is his snapping hand. So I think there's potentially still a situation where he could be healthy enough to be clubbed up or have that hand protected well enough to be able to play, but might not be able to snap. And so the question is, do you put him at right guard then? After all the success that Tevin Jenkins has had the last few weeks, that would seem kind of disruptive. So how would you handle that situation right now?
Yeah. So that situation, I would leave the guards the same. I would just swap Mustipher for Patrick, and when Patrick's ready to go and snap the ball, you plug him in there. Mustipher's got most of the reps in the preseason. He kind of built that relationship with Justin Fields and company. I think you leave everything the same. You just swap the center. I think that's the best recipe for success at this point.
That's why we're paying you the big bucks, Corey, because I completely agree. Lucas Patrick, when you're ready to play center, you can play. But until then, we are in developmental year. Tevin Jenkins is developing right before our eyes. To rip him out of there right now for a guy who's going to have to play with a club on his hand doesn't make any sense. By the way, Corey, how hard if you're going up against a guy with a club? Does that feel like, oh my God, I got a huge edge here?
Exactly. I'm attacking that hand every time, especially in the pass rush situation. So I think it's a tough situation to play with the club. So I'd rather have the best 5 guys out there, and I think you just swap Mustipher and when Patrick's ready to go, because Tevin Jenkins, he's improved so much. I think he's going to be a stable at right guard for years. I think he's tremendous. He's a road grader. He's nasty. That's what we need more on this team. So I think you got to keep him at right guard.
Corey, the quarterback matchup this week is fascinating because, you have 2 guys that were part of the same draft class, both first-round picks. And, of course, the 49ers made the huge move to go up and get Trey Lance and then didn't really play him last year. He got a little bit of playing time, but it was still Jimmy Garoppolo's show. The results with Trey, by the way, similar offense because the Bears have now transitioned to a lot of what the 49ers are doing. So it is a new offense to Justin Fields. For Trey Lance, he's technically been in it for a year, but he doesn't have the same playing experience. I would call it bumpy at best from what we saw with Trey Lance in the preseason. And then they pulled this huge curveball last week, and they re-signed Jimmy Garoppolo after no one thought that was going to be even a possibility all offseason. So the 49ers are a good team, but do the Bears have the quarterback advantage in this matchup on Sunday?
They do 100%. You look at their preseason, right? Justin Fields has been leaps above what Trey Lance did this preseason. I mean, in the last game alone, Justin Fields just seems so comfortable out there. And them signing Jimmy Garoppolo, that can do a lot for a young guy's confidence. I think they're saying, we really don't feel that comfortable. I think that's telling you everything you need to know. So Justin Fields definitely has the advantage. What he's done in the preseason, just his confidence back there. He looks like a different quarterback. And that's what happens when you have a play caller that scripts for success and puts you in position to succeed. So Justin Fields definitely has the edge.
Where are you at on the Carm versus Carmi quibble on offensive line versus defensive line? We got to settle that right now, I think.
I'm with Carmi. I love the defensive line. I think that's the strong suit, right? Al-Qadim Muhammad, he had a great season last year as like a full-time starter. You look at Travis Gibson, really came into his own. Robert Quinn's going to have another great season. We could have potentially three guys that have double-digit sacks. And then you talk about guys, Armon Watts, who we just signed as well, had 5 sacks a year ago. So Justin Jones, I think he hasn't even scratched the surface of what he can be. I think the defensive line and the front seven is the strong suit of this team. The offensive line kind of is the big question mark for me. I really like what I've seen what Tevin Jenkins has done. We like what Braxton Jones done in the preseason. But week 1, going against Nick Bosa and Samson Mbuke, that's going to be a tough matchup right there. And then Eric Armstead inside. This is going to be a real tough matchup for the Bears, and we'll see kind of how this O-line is shaking up.
Let's not freak out, by the way, if they get crushed on Sunday against the Niners, because this is a very tough matchup. I just like the depth. Reef is just sitting there too. If you need him, Leatherwood's another addition. So they have. It just feels like they have a lot more options than before. But Corey, your point. It sounds like you think the Bears are going to win a bunch of games then, if that all comes together.
I do. I told everybody this. I think they will win 9 games. Everyone thinks I'm absolutely crazy. You look at the growth from Justin Fields, relying on a running game. They're going to play great defense. They're going to stop the run, something they haven't done in 3 years, right? When you're able to stop the run and then be able to get after the passer and you're a disciplined team, that's something that they've struggled with under Matt Nagy. Discipline was a key thing. Personal fouls, offsides, things of that nature will really hurt you. So they were one of the most penalized teams in the league. So you combine that. You play great defense. You rely on the running game. You put Justin Fields in a position to succeed, and you score in the red zone. I think they could win 9 games. The schedule is not that tough.
Corey, this is a very unscientific way of judging expectations, but I'm in a fantasy league with a bunch of Packer fans, basically all Packer fans, and so every year they just shit on the Bears the whole time. And usually they're right. But all of a sudden, we're doing our draft yesterday, and these guys can't wait to draft David Montgomery.
Oh, yeah.
Darnell Mooney. All of a sudden, Justin Fields in the 6th round by a Packer fan.
Wow.
So which is it here? I mean, are this whole national narrative that the Bears are bad and the offense stinks and Justin Fields is no one around them, but now they can't wait to draft all these fantasy guys? I mean, all of a sudden, that's confusing me here, Corey.
Yeah, I think it's the other way around. Aaron Rodgers, right? The lack of weapons for him this year is a big concern. It seems like his running back position is his greatest position this year. So it's going to be interesting. They're projecting them or the Vikings to win, but I think the Green Bay is just a favorite every year just because of Aaron Rodgers. But I think it's going to be a tough year for him. I think he's frustrated with the wide receiver core, talking about drops, this, that, and the other. So I think the Bears are going to surprise a lot of people. I just love what I've seen with Justin Fields. It's like night and day from last year. And then you talk about if we could score in the red zone, a guy like Cole Kmet, and I've always said this, I think he could be like Kyle Rudolph in his prime, the Pro Bowl type of Kyle Rudolph. Give you 700 to 800 yards receiving, really efficient in the red zone, good blocker as well, and really be that utility guy in the red zone for Justin Fields.
Corey, I've been really impressed with the job Ryan Poles did in this year's draft. All these rookies have flashed at some point, whether it be in the preseason games or at camp. But for your prediction to go right for 9-8, these rookies are really going to have to step up quickly. Braxton Jones, Velus Jones stretching the sidelines, for the defense. And then, of course, Jaquan Brisker and Kyler Gordon, all Bears fans are very excited about those two guys. How fast can Bears fans expect them to catch up to the speed of the NFL and be ready to be difference makers? Because early in the season, I feel like, is the time for the Bears to win these games and attack that 9-win prediction that you're putting them at.
I think pretty early on, I think they've done a great job through the preseason. I think that's half the battle, just getting that confidence, right? If you do it in the preseason, it gives you confidence, right? If they kind of struggle during the preseason, then I'd be a little bit nervous. But they've all done a great job across that rookie class. And Braxton Jones seems like that Charles Leno type of guy that's going to be able to be as stable at left tackle for the next couple of years. Kyler Gordon, Jaquan Brisker, they've done a great job in this preseason, and they're going to be starters day one. So all these guys, I'm looking for them to step up big, especially on the defensive side of the ball. Hit the ground running, and I'm excited, man. People think I'm absolutely crazy for saying 9 wins, but that's the recipe for success. You look at Tennessee, right? A guy like Ryan Tannehill, nobody wanted him, right? And you have a great running game. You take the pressure off him. He's efficient. He doesn't turn the ball over. And look what they've been able to do by playing great defense as well.
I want to talk about the Jaquan Brisker and Kyler Gordon pickup, and just like the secondary in general too. And Corey, as someone that was in the trenches, what does it do for you when you know that the back end has things locked up, and especially in a Matt Eberflus defense? I mean, you're talking the middle back levels are just crucial to what they're trying to do, take the ball away, making those plays. What does it do for you guys up front then to know that, all right, we can maybe sell out a little bit more because we know that these guys behind us are going to have us, in the long run?
It all works together. Rod Marinelli, who coached me in Chicago under Lovey, Russian cover, we work together, right? The front four gets the pressure. Those guys in the back half buy us an extra second so we can get home. So it all works together. And I've loved what I've seen in the preseason. And I'm really excited about this defense because we're going to have a disciplined defense, a defense that can stop the run. And when you stop the run, that's when you can pin your ears back. And the big fellas up front, they get excited. They get that big grin on their face because they're going to be able to get after that passer. So I'm really looking forward to this because a lot of people, when Matt Eberflus first got signed to the Bears, like, oh, no, I want an offensive-minded coach. I said, no. This is the recipe. You look at all the years the Bears did well with Ditka, defensive-minded team. Lovey, all those years, defensive-minded team. Now if we can get the offense around Justin Fields, I think the monsters of the Midway are back. And if we can control that possession on offense and get him confidence, it's going to be a great season.
All right, Corey, you got 9 wins. Is this game against the 49ers one of those 9 wins? And if so, I mean, what's the matchup here? What do the Bears have to solve? Because if they do win, it would surprise a lot of people, and it's not going to be easy to do.
So this is going to be a win this week. We got the new turf out there. They're rolling out the new turf, which is a great thing because playing on that turf for years, we got used to it, but it wasn't a very good playing surface, to be honest with you guys. And I think everybody knows that. You guys have heard that from players and opposing teams especially. But I think the matchup comes down to how our offensive line plays against that defensive line because I think they're a talented front in there. Chris Korosek is that defensive line coach. I played for him in Detroit. He's a great coach. They have a talented bunch of Nick Bosa, Sampson out there, Eric Armstead. He's a big guy, in the middle. 6'7", I think he's 290 or 300. This is going to be a great test for them. If we can control them, keep them at bay with the play calling, right? Really get the running game going early on. Try to frustrate a guy like Nick Bosa because he wants to get active. He wants to be able to get after the passer. Slide the protections toward him. Don't let him be a factor in that game, right? I'm putting all my focus on him because he's going to try to go against Braxton Jones. He say, I have a rookie out here at left tackle. I'm going to try to put him on the island. Nope, slide the protection. Let's get the chip help. Let's really help Braxton Jones out in this first game. Let's get David Montgomery going. Let's get Khalil Herbert. Let's get Justin Fields on the run. Let's get this offense ready to go. So I think if they can do that, rely on the running game, get Justin Fields going, get some of those smaller intermediate throws, then open things up. I think they could be successful. And defensively, I think if you stop the run, you put the pressure on Trey Lance. He struggled in this preseason, right? I think if you can do that, you can really get after him by stopping the run first, really knocking out that run. We can get after him and fluster him. But, they have some talented weapons, Deebo Samuel, George Kittles. But I think Trey Lance, I'm not sold on him. I'm not sold on him.
Corey, before you go here, they're going to name 4 captains tomorrow, and I guess we're going to have an honorary captain rotating each week. Do guys care who gets named?
Yeah, I think guys do. I think guys have a lot of pride in that, because they want to be the captain, especially the leaders on the team. I would be surprised if Justin Fields is the captain. What he's been able to do this offseason, just his confidence, guys buying into him. So I'm looking forward. I think he'll be a captain this year, but I think guys really do care about that because it's important. Guys when I was there, Urlacher was a captain, Julius Peppers was a captain, Jay Cutler. You want the guys that are stables of these franchises to be leading you guys to the coin toss every week. So I think guys do look forward to that.
All right, Corey. Well, I got a million questions I could ask you. The good news is we got Mondays throughout the season to go through those. You played in this scheme. It's going to be a perfect fit for us here at CHGO as we talk through it. And You predicted a win. Your first one on record here. I have a feeling there might be some more with this crew this week making that prediction. But hopefully that comes true, and we will see you here in studio on Monday. Looking forward to it.
Thanks a lot, guys. Looking forward to getting in the studio with y'all.
See you, Ryan Field, on Saturday. Big game with Duke.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Academic U, baby. Northwestern.
There it is. Corey Wooten. You can follow him on Twitter at Corey Wooten. And you should, 2 O's, 2 T's in there. You always got to remember that.
Double O, double T.
Remember that from my writing days, writing about Corey Wooten sacking Brett Favre, which is another thing we got to get into. I figure we could save that for, at least Monday.
I got to say
I want the full, I want to hear the full,
coming.
everything that's going through his head as he's making that play.
Well, and then he went and played for the Vikings right after that.
Yeah.
One of the most iconic Bears-Packers plays for Bears fans ever.
I'm just feeling all Hawk Harrelson right now. I love Corey Wooten. That's a hell of a hire right here. It's awesome to be able
9-8.
That's
That's
You
what
gotta
I
have
said
had
too on
9.
Friday. And then I'd spent all weekend thinking I should have said 8 and 9.
Well, the Bears have what, like the 4th easiest schedule? Because
Yes.
I was looking at it, and I don't have an issue getting to 9 wins when I'm looking at the schedule. Do I actually think that's what's going to happen? I don't know. But I could see it happen pretty easily, especially, given the schedule and given when the games are coming and all that kind of stuff.
What's interesting to me is how much optimism is out there on this team. I mean,
that's true.
The chat is just rolling.
It's all here, though. Nationally, there's none.
No, listen, I was
Is
asleep.
it a Chicago against the world thing then?
It feels like it this season. Like, it really does feel like it right now.
2 a.m. last night, I'm listening to Bill Simmons' podcast.
Oh, they were just, yes, I was listening to it yesterday, too.
They just, maybe we should pull that for tomorrow, whatever.
And so they break down the over-unders for every team. And any team that was playing the Bears, it was like, that's a win. That's a win. They just immediately counted it as a win.
Uncle Sal, he warned Bill. He's like, cousin Sal, whatever. My guy Sal, you're awesome. I love the pod. They were like, don't say this. Bears fans are going to get mad at you. I'm like, you're right. Bears fans are going to get mad at you. But
they know
it's.
But I think Bears fans have a right to be mad about it.
No, we don't. No, we haven't done anything. We come
on.
on.
It's been a little ridiculous.
Which part?
There's something to be said for being a realist, too. That's all I'm going to say.
Not here. Come on.
Back to the QB. That's all that matters. Wins are sweet. But if the quarterback develops and you roll into next offseason with either a really high draft pick or a medium high draft pick and all the money, then we can sit here next year at this time and talk Super Bowl. Let's go.
Over under Justin Fields 2.5 touchdowns Sunday.
Wow, I love that so much. Let's roll the over, baby. Come on,
There's your optimism.
I'll go with that.
All right, we're gonna bring in Nick here momentarily. Got a couple partners to tell you about, but Nick's gonna briefly swap in here with Greg Braggs. But first, Athletic Greens, our next partner. We use it here at CHGO because we want better gut health, more energy, better immune system. Got all these pills and vitamins you have to take. No, you just take Athletic Greens every day. What is this stuff? With one delicious scoop of AG1, you are absorbing 75 high-quality vitamins, minerals, whole food source superfoods, probiotics, and adaptogens to help you start your day right. This special blend of ingredients supports your gut health, your nervous system, your immune system, your energy, recovery, focus, aging, all of those things. Right now, it's time to reclaim your health and arm your immune system with convenient daily nutrition. It's just one scoop in a cup of water every day. That's it. No need for a million different pills and supplements to look out for your health. To make it easy, Athletic Greens is going to give you a free 1-year supply of immune-supporting vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. All you have to do is visit athleticgreens.com/CHGO Bears. Again, that is athleticgreens.com/CHGO Bears to take ownership over your health and pick up the ultimate daily nutritional insurance. Also, Chicago, you've already got the best coverage for your favorite teams, so get fitted out in the best sports gear around. Foco got you covered from Soldier Field to the front room, north or south side, hoodies, slippers, signs, bobbleheads, everything in between. Get decked out like DeMar with apparel from the leader in sports merch and collectibles. Foco, looking for the perfect gift for the football fan in your life? Foco's got you covered with hoodies, to fight that Lake Michigan breeze. Check out Foco.com or click the link in the description below for all non-presale items. Use the promo code CHGO. You'll get 10% off. What's up, Nick?
Nick.
Hi, Nick.
People can't recognize me. Who is that? Don't have the mustache, so now I'm just a completely new person, I guess. So,
You look good.
thank you, Carmen. Thank you.
I missed you already because I had to do all the damn reads today.
I know. I was like, yeah, that athletic reads one. It's wordy.
I mean, that's work right there. All right. Well, Nick is still our guy that's going to be covering the team all season long. We're checking with him, all the time. Also, we should mention that you and Will on Thursdays going to be bringing back like
Chicago
Audible days.
Yeah, throwback preview show. So if you enjoyed that, we're gonna go really in depth. Obviously Bears focused, but yeah, like the good old days, throwback, everything you need to know about the Bears for this week 1 matchup with the 49ers. We got you covered.
Yeah, the Chicago Audible OGs, don't worry about it. We got you covered. Those preview episodes, we're bringing them back. Nicholas's mustache is still at Hallis Hall looking for scoops.
Hopefully you get something,
That's a pretty good comment.
Yeah, I like that. It'll be back by like Friday. You'll already see like everything starting to grow back. So we'll bring back the mustache probably November.
Should have like it should be based on wins and losses.
Oh,
Like if they win, you have to keep the mustache.
or
what?
loss, yeah.
Yeah.
Then,
Maybe go with the losses.
guaranteed to stay for a little bit.
Mustache or no mustache, let's just call it what it is. Nick's the best looking guy here. I mean, he's just so smooth. Look at him. The hair there, the smile. I mean, everything that he's got going on over there. The coverage. Wow. Come on. The Audible. Shout out to the Audible. The shoes. Look at
I know. I slipped in like a 20 earlier, but I didn't know I was going to get all that.
Dude comes flying in with an apple. He's eating an apple today. He's so just pure. He's such a great teammate. He's always retweeting, giving love.
He eats way better than I do, for sure.
Out at Hallis Hall, he's got like every fine, good, healthy food product. Athletic Greens looking at you.
You do kind of have a kitchen at your cubicle.
I do. Well, I gave away all the chips that I was storing, and then I kind of
yeah.
gave those away, so whoever got them,
You're kind of hoarding those. Mainly because you're smart enough not to eat them.
Yeah, but it's like when you're there those days in training camp, Adam's like,
You get hungry.
that's all you got to eat. So
It's a lot of work. All right, speaking of that, what did you learn at Hallis Hall yesterday?
Well, the Bears are finally getting healthy. Everybody, all the 53-man roster, 6 wide receivers, you guys, all of them participated. So that was a good thing to see for the Bears. The only player that did not participate was Dominique Robinson. So the Bears are getting healthy for week 1. Matt Eberflus, we've been asked about captains, Adam, and what's going to be the philosophy there. Matt Eberflus is going to announce tomorrow the 4 captains, and then an honorary captain will be each week. So that's how Matt Eberflus is going to handle the captains this season. And then their topic of discussion was Nick Bosa. Got a chance to talk to Larry Borum and also hear from Braxton Jones. I asked him what's so difficult in trying to block a guy like that. Basically said, well, Larry Borum called everything, and that's what it was. He's not just good at the bull rush. He can maneuver around you. He does so many things well. Larry Borum called him slippery because of everything that he can do. So they know it's not going to be. They know that there's going to be some snaps they're going to lose, some they're going to win, but they go back to all the days in training camp that they've been going up against Travis Gibson, Robert Quinn, and hoping that can help prepare them for this. Really, it's a tough matchup. It's not just Bosa. There's Armstead. I think 43.5 of the 48 sacks the 49ers got came from just the defensive line. Yeah. So it's a group that can really get after the opposing quarterback. And then the last thing, Amir Smith-Marset, and, Mark, as you know, University of Iowa, got to talk to him for a little bit. I asked him, do you feel like there's like a chip on your shoulder because the Minnesota Vikings traded to get Jalen Reagor, and he was gone, and now he's on the Bears? He said, absolutely. He knows how that situation played out. Matt Eberflus also said he's another guy that can compete in the wide receiver room, also on special teams as a kick returner, but overall just adds competition. But that was really the lowdown from the quick day at Hallis Hall on Monday.
I did talk to a University of Iowa in the trenches Hawkeye on Smith-Marset. So dynamic in the special teams potentially. Mm-hmm. Size is an issue. Speed is there. These are my detailed notes here. In the kickoff return game, capable, could take it to the house. Also, he's capable of trying to run through 7 guys and fumbling the
Love
football
it.
as well.
Okay,
and
that
it
part.
doesn't really have a great understanding of route running, where to sit down, that type of stuff. Relies on his speed too much, which looks great at the University of Iowa or better there in the NFL. Different story. So that's my read there on the Hawkeye.
What is your read on Lucas Patrick this week? Because I kind of have this hunch that he's going to be fine in play.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this has been the plan all along since he got hurt on, the second day of camp or whatever that was. But at the same time, he hasn't been out there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he didn't get those preseason reps. He never had a padded practice, really.
Yeah,
But
Adam,
he is a veteran. He's been around, and he can jump in there and be fine. But those reps with Justin Fields when you're the center, that does matter.
It does matter, and I wonder, like, obviously, Matt Eberflus said, don't know if it's going to be center or guard, where Lucas Patrick's going to slot in once he's actually ingrained in the offense, and he practiced yesterday. But what could he have showed you in one day of practice that tells you he's better at right guard than Tevin Jenkins is from what we've seen the last, 2.5 weeks? And he's only gotten better since Tevin Jenkins has taken that right guard spot. So Eberflus, I think, is being a coach, he's like, I don't know where he's going to play yet, and we'll obviously maybe get a better indication tomorrow. But to me, it seems like if he's healthy enough to snap, it didn't seem like I looked at the video that was out there yesterday. There wasn't a brace. So I think if he's healthy, he should be the center. Tevin Jenkins should be your right guard.
I don't think you move those guys. I just think that the development of Tevin Jenkins is too important at this point. And he said it, Ryan Poles said it on the podcast with you, Adam, where he was like, he found a home there, and they used that terminology, and and having a home implies that you're going to stay there. And so, I just think that for someone who, you spend all this time quelling all of the rumors and all that kind of stuff, being like, no, you have a home here. We really like what you're doing at guard. And I trust Ryan Poles as far as, his evaluation of offensive linemen for obvious reasons. But the whole thing with Lucas Patrick, I don't know if you do play him in the first game either way, because he does not have the chemistry yet with Justin Fields. And this center quarterback relationship and the exchange that happens in the split seconds before a ball is snapped, even if he can snap, you don't know necessarily all right, are you making that check? Are you calling the mic point? Are you doing all of that kind of stuff? Am I doing that? And then especially having Justin Fields being still a young quarterback, that's not going to come super naturally just in the first game, and there can be a lot of miscommunication, and that can be catastrophic between those two players.
That's what really sucked about his injury, because they were they paraded both Lucas up there with Justin Fields, and they were building that bond, and so that's gotten ripped away.
I could see Lucas being named one of the captains tomorrow.
Agreed.
Yeah.
100%.
For sure.
Yeah.
And that's how much he matters.
Yes.
So,
but the other thing, though, about let's just remember, he was signed for a 2-year, $8 million deal, $4 million guarantee. This is not some premier offensive lineman that was coming here. I think great fit. You're taking away from the Packers. Getsy knows him. It fits in the offense. We definitely want him out there. But it's not like this is some Hall of Famer that you just absolutely have to get on the field. On the other side of it, I don't think anyone's excited about Sam Mustipher being at center against the Niners either. So, but if he can't play center, then to me it doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
No.
Yeah, if he can't play center and you're just throwing him out at right guard, again, Tevin Jenkins has been one getting the reps. He's been having the chemistry with that starting unit that we've been seeing with Fields. I feel like that would just be the better option right now.
Yeah.
all right, well, good stuff, Nick. We will check in with you again tomorrow from Hallis Hall. We'll have the press conferences going on simultaneously with your show, so we should have some news coming out. We'll react to it, and we'll bring you in to find out what matters from
Sounds
Hallis
good.
Hall. All right. Make sure you're following on Twitter at Nicholas Moriano. We'll bring Braggs in here for the last 5 minutes of the show. Typically, we end our shows with super chats and questions, and appreciate all the love being thrown our way today with everybody tuning in with our full team here. And where should we start, Lawrence? What do we got? So we got Leo here. I was going to say, I don't even understand what that money is. So that's like $10 Brazilian? Okay.
That's big dough right
Carmen,
there,
what's
Leo.
the exchange rate on it?
I'm assuming that's a 1 for 1.3-er, Adam. Thank you, Leo. We appreciate whatever it is. We love you, brother.
Yeah, he said people live in Brazil. I've been a father of the Bears since 2006. I follow you for a long time. Congratulations on your work. Thank you, Leo. We appreciate you being here, and hope you stick with us all season. David with a $4.99 in U.S. dollars.
That's $4.99.
Yeah, you got the tax on there. Why aren't we talking more about turnover ratio being the most reliable predictor of wins in the NFL, especially in regards to the hits principle? Is it the most reliable predictor? I mean, it's up there.
It's turnover margin in general.
Yes.
I feel like is
so
very much so.
And that's the flip side. Like the Bears may
That's the thing.
take
It's like
the ball
it's not
away,
only
but
forcing them, but
Fields can't be throwing interceptions left and right
Or
either.
fumbling the ball.
If he's under pressure, that might be a problem. But
It's hard to know if we're going to get them, although our latest undrafted free agent addition, Kingsley Jonathan, was doing that in the preseason. So they are betting on that.
I cannot see a scenario in which they don't have more takeaways this year.
Really?
They have to. Eberflus stresses that
Yeah.
so much for his defenses, and also like he does those swarming drills in practice. I was there at House Hall for a couple of practices this year, and he has the entire defense. And I think it was Al-Qadim Muhammad that said it. He was like, "Yeah, the biggest way to piss Eberflus off is to not give any effort and to not get to the ball as a defensive player." So like that in itself is going to lend it. There's going to be a takeaway influx, I think, this year. I'm really optimistic about that because I think these guys can make plays on the ball too.
There's no doubt it's being preached every single damn second up there.
It's good.
Yeah, it's great. Hey, let's go. Hits principle. I'm in. But I'm not as sold as you, Carmi, that it's going to officially happen. I guess as much as sold as Adam. Probably you too, Braggs.
You'll see.
Okay. I listen. 5 turnovers a game. Let's go.
Bears Twitter is
One.
bullied Adam into 9 wins. We'll get you there. Give it a week.
That's exactly what happened. They had 16 takeaways last year, guys. I mean, they ranked towards the bottom of the league.
More than last year. Okay.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Okay.
What do you think I said?
I thought I heard it somehow in my mind as more than whoever they're playing, that they're gonna that by the end of the year the Bears are gonna be taking the ball away more than their opponents. That's
you don't think they'll be in the plus margin?
I have my. We'll see. We'll see. We got a lot.
That seems like more of an indictment on the offense not being taken care of.
Yes.
And that's a fair point. That could very much be a problem.
All right.
Don't worry, Bears Twitter. I'll get to work on them. Just give me a few days.
I'm going to live in reality as just a drop here. Every now and then. Okay, fine, Brex.
I like this question. Willie with the $2 super chat. Which wide receiver besides Mooney breaks out this year?
Oof.
Velus Jones. That's an easy one.
Easy one.
What about EQ?
Velus.
I like EQ.
Velus is going to take the top off this defense. Everybody's talking about the gadget plays he's going to do, but I think he's going to do a little more downfield than people realize. He can play.
Is he going to practice ever?
He doesn't need to practice.
Okay,
He's just going to
he doesn't
play.
need practice.
If the lights come on.
Route running isn't really his strength at this point, though. Like, he was so limited in college when it came to that stuff. So, like, how many targets can you reliably give him with the limited practice reps and his limited experience at the route tree?
Certainly not ideal. I'm sure he wishes he had more reps in there. But Fields specifically asked for him. They drafted him.
Okay.
And from the few practices I saw where he was out there, Fields' eyes certainly going that way because he has that separation ability.
He does. That's true.
I'll take the chalk. You're going to get healthy. That quad is fine, Byron Pringle, and you're going to come out here, and there's a reason why they brought you over to be the number 2, and you're going to show that you should still be in Kansas City, and you're going to bring that veteran presence. You're going to do something. Velus Jones, I like him a lot, but and in just the versatility, but the way he purely looks catching the football right now, I can't put him there.
Here's the way I'm going to answer this. I mean, I'm going to stick to the question, which was wide receivers. But if we're being honest, like the person who needs to break out the most is Cole Kmet.
Yes.
Okay, that needs to be the breakout star. But if we're going to talk about the wide receivers, man, I'm stretching to make an argument for any of these guys, really. I mean, and I'm okay with Velus Jones. Like, I just think for everything they're asking him to do, and it's going to be a very horizontal situation with him and a lot of motions, like, he needs to practice. He needs time to pick up the offense. Like, that's asking a lot from a rookie, even if he's 35 years old already.
Oh, boy.
Most overblown storyline ever.
I know, that's why I lean into it, because it's totally overblown.
Right. Simmons did the same thing. They got this rookie who's 25. Like, relax.
He's 25. Who cares?
Can I give you my sleeper, though?
Please.
Okay.
I'm excited.
I mean, I'm really going all in on that corner route versus the Browns. Dante Pettis.
I should have said Dante Pettis. Dante Pettis is doing things out there. I'm excited about Dante Pettis.
I like his
body awareness is.
It should be equanimous, but he still needs make more catches. I know that sounds so basic, but like
And when he does catch it, he needs to hold on to it.
And there's that issue too.
Looks good in the return. This little speed, Dante. Come on.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that.
All right, guys.
What?
We got anything else? Or are we good? Okay. Can people even hear you talking right now? Okay, they can't hear you. So I'm talking to Lawrence. Just let's get a couple more questions out of here, and then we can get out of here. What else we got?
Can I just throw one thing out on the undrafted free agents and just throw some love and excitement Sterling Weatherford's way? Can I do that for just one split second?
Oh, I thought you were going to say Jack Sanborn's going to win defensive player of the year.
I have Sanborn in here too, but I'll save that for later in the week for you. But I just figured we'd do Weatherford today. Went to the same college as Dominique Robinson, so he had a dude vouching for him to come in here.
That college was Miami, Ohio, by the way, not Alabama.
Yeah, right. And okay, true. It would be sweeter if it was Alabama.
Went to the same school,
I will take Miami of Ohio and a grinder who fits in the hits principle. I was looking him up.
You know who the greatest alum of Miami, Ohio is?
Wally Zerbiak.
Caitlin Hoge, my sister.
Okay. Shout out Caitlin in the fam. You have an amazing brother. That's beautiful. But 2017.
You guys are so nice to each other.
Miami of Ohio. My new guy, Sterling Weatherford. I looked this up today. I'm excited about you. You know why? Because in 2017, he was the defensive scout team player of the year, working hard behind the scenes, setting the foundation for what we need on the hits principle with the Bears in 2022, which is why he was picked up as an undrafted free agent to come in here and make an impact somewhere. Sterling Weatherford, that's right. Carm notes. I am so damn excited. He's the son of Cindy and Tim. Shout out to you, Cindy and Tim. Tim was a mechanical engineer.
Cindy and Tim did a great job.
Cindy and Tim did a great job. I don't know what Cindy does outside of being an amazing mom and everything else, but I do.
I don't need her resume.
I don't have the resume, but I know that Tim. So, no, I'm sorry, that's not right. Just shout out to Cindy and Tim. He was a mechanical engineering major. I messed up my own notes.
Oh, no.
That means that you don't fall off the tree and go mechanical engineering. This dude is smart.
It's a good school for mechanical engineering too.
Oh my God, Carmi, how do you know that? That's amazing.
My neighbor went there.
Okay.
Was Tim the mechanical engineer
No.
major?
I just shout out Cindy and Tim, the parents, and this dude.
Okay, you merged two sentences there, I think.
I messed up.
Okay, I'm going to back you up real quick on your whole Scout Team Player of the Week
Thank
thing.
you.
Former Scout Team Player of the Week?
Yeah.
Or year, I should say.
Yeah.
J.J. Watt.
J.J. Watt. Oh, come on. Sterling Weatherford.
Okay. So that means
J.J. Watt. That's what that means.
transitive property.
Super Bowl.
Sterling Weatherford. Probably inactive.
Bragg, did
Sunday
I get you
against
excited at all over
It got me very excited.
All right, Nick asked, what is the laziest media narrative you guys have heard this offseason, besides the one we just heard? That one doesn't apply.
That the Bears didn't do anything to help Justin Fields this offseason? I
Yes.
mean, that was the most notorious and laziest one I've seen because it just comes in so many different forms. Not only did you try to fortify the offensive line, you got a GM who's an offensive lineman. Like, you have all of that. You got some receivers, but then you also fortified this defense, and the defense is going to help the offense.
To your point, too, those same people that say they did nothing also criticize the Jaguars for spending too much money on the players they got.
Well, I mean, come on.
Which were the players who were available.
You
can't have it both ways.
They deserve to be criticized for that.
Well, I know, but that's what I'm saying. But you can't like say, oh, the Jaguars spent too much money on these players. Oh, the Bears did nothing. Well, which one is it? Like, which?
And to flip it on Nick's head here, the fan narrative this offseason that to me was the most ridiculous is this idea that the Bears local media wants the Bears to be bad.
Oh, yeah.
It's so silly. You guys have covered this team for how long? They're good like once every 10 years. the going is good when the team is good, and the media here wants them to be good. You want to go after the national media, fine. Take your shots at Dan Orlovsky and all the other guys. But I just have found it so silly that this idea that the Bears media is out to get Bears fans and rain on their parade every day. It's silliness. I get we all want to puff out our chests as fans and write checks that the players have to cash this season. But at the end of the day, I know for a fact we all want this team to be good. And as they have all mentioned here, as legitimate media members here, that they also started out as Bears fans. We all want the Bears to be good. So, I just wanted to stand up there and say that.
Fun fact, it's more fun covering a good football team.
That part.
And it's better for business.
That's what I mean.
That part.
So, I don't mind saying that out loud. That's just a fact. So no one wants the Bears to.
For purely selfish reasons, you should want the teams you cover to do well. When I was with the Bucks, I went through really bad seasons with them, and then I went through really good seasons with them. And guess which one was more fun?
I was going to say, and what sold better? What
I don't know.
more clicks?
I don't know. I think that time Mitch Trubisky threw 5 touchdowns against them was.
I was at that game. That was
Six.
Yes, it was 6 touchdowns.
I was at that
touchdowns.
game.
It was 6 touchdowns.
So you're saying that
You would have
covering
thought
that
the
game for the
Messiah
Bucks
had came.
Everyone thought that he was the second coming of Jesus Christ.
So that Bucks team was not more fun than the one that won the Super Bowl?
Shockingly, no.
Okay.
Shockingly, although I was rooting for the Bucks because they were my employer at the time, but in the back of my head, I was like, good on you, man.
Two things real quick here. Number one, Carmi, I am so with you on what they've done for Justin. If we brought Justin Fields in here right now, hey, have they done anything for you this offseason? Do you feel better about where you're at from 365 days ago till now?
An offensive coordinator who wants to build a system around you.
He wouldn't stop smiling, I wouldn't think. Yeah. And we're going to do, or at least attempt to do, a great show every single damn day, no matter what. But 1-7, we'll still be doing it. But at 7-1, it'd be a lot better. Let's go. Wins.
Absolutely.
Wins would be sweet.
And I welcome those receipts, Sam, wherever they are. You show me the receipts of me saying that the Bears didn't do enough for Justin Fields. I welcome those. He's in the comments every single day just complaining about everything, but he's here every single day.
We
Funny
love
how
you,
that works.
Sam.
He's still watching. Appreciate you. But I don't really think those receipts are going to show up. That's fine.
Sam, I understand. The dude's just been coming at me with the tennis all day long. And
I'm keeping that, by the way.
It's for you, buddy.
Thank you. Did you have fun?
Don't let some.
You can keep it.
Do you have a dog?
No, I don't have a dog.
Okay, all right. Because
I have a cat who thinks he's a dog.
Yeah, no. This is pristine.
I have a 1-year-old. She might destroy that.
Yeah.
But
who was dressed up fantastically this weekend?
You look like you had fun.
You've
had a couple big weeks. London, U.S. Open, new job.
Also went to family camp, Camp Nebagaman, I love you, and also went to Boyne Mountain Tennis Camp. It's been the greatest month of my life. But
wow,
all now we are back. Football season is here. I'm dialed in. I'm not taking a day off until 2023. Let's go.
All right, good stuff, guys. Awesome having you here. We're really excited. Make sure you are following our crew on Twitter at the Carm, at Carmy V, at GBraggs Jr. 23. And Nicholas Moriano. Still here. And
Where's the Malort?
And Will DeWitt, too. He wasn't on the show today, but he is still a huge part of this. And we love Will very much. Corey Wooten, at Corey Wooten. 2 O's, 2 T's. What a crew we got here. Really excited. We're back here tomorrow at noon. Should be news flowing out of Hallis. We'll have it all covered for you. Start diving in even deeper to this matchup against the 49ers.
Game week, baby.
It's game week. Week 1.
Woo.
Talk to you tomorrow.